All right. While we wait for Mark, I have a little bit more from the same guy that had Candace viewers on. This person is Caleb Hammer. Apparently does a financial channel. Literally just came on my radar, but he's got himself a finance person who's a socialist. So it's amusing.
They have barbed wire and awful living conditions and maggots in the food and abusing the people in there, no due process. That's a concentration camp.
Okay.
And so people are rightfully outraged and are out there to demoralize.
I believe she's complaining about ICE and whatnot.
The people who are going into those.
I asked her what her job was, by the way.
I said finance, and you asked if I was a bad capitalist.
So I'm a socialist. Concentration camps. You're a socialist?
Yes.
Okay, you know socialism has never worked. What socialism are you in favor for? Here we go. Get ready.
I believe that
take a system.
A system?
Take a system in the world that you're in favor of.
Well,
that you would rather be our system.
I just don't want it to be capitalism. Nor do I want it to be.
Take a system that has worked that you like and would like to replicate here.
Capitalism.
Take a system, please. That has been proven to work in any country, anywhere. That is better than our system, please.
Capitalism.
Yeah, please find.
Not.
Okay, that's great. I hear. Yes, you have your talking points. That's wonderful. Now pick a system that has worked anywhere, better than here, that you would rather have.
Well, I'm waiting for it. Your definition of better is not valuing the intrinsic value.
I don't give a fuck about my definition. Your definition. I'm asking you to choose. Don't cater to my definition.
And I'm choosing socialism.
No. Yeah, but pick it. Pick another country that has worked.
And unfortunately, we are an imperialist.
Never tried real socialism, I bet you.
Imperialism is hurting those socialist countries.
It hurt the USSR?
It's hurting
Weren't they imperialist?
And Venezuela. Yeah, the blockades that we're doing for the
for
oil.
What it's worth, oil production
places.
Dramatically fell after the state took control of Venezuela, and it hurt their economy dramatically well before our embargo. You might be right about Cuba, but no, Venezuela did it themselves before we embargoed. Timeline-wise, so you're just wrong. They had a slush fund coming in when it was collecting taxes from the private enterprise.
What I'm not wrong about is the fact that
so what system,
capitalism
please? Okay, I just asked what her job was. Here we go. Please, pick a system. One place that according to your values you would rather do.
New York.
That's not socialist. That's the most capitalist place in the world.
But Mamdani is out there doing
He's democratic socialist.
Yeah.
Socialist.
Yeah.
He still believes in capitalism. You know that, right?
Start somewhere.
No. That is still capitalist. All his policies are funded on the tax revenue generated by capitalism. That's capitalism. That is not workers-based socialism. Taxes come from the capitalist state still. So no, that is not socialist. But if that's what you'd like to see, then don't call yourself a socialist because that's not socialist. That's still capitalism. That's more Scandinavian. That's European, which is still funded on capitalist systems. I was hoping you were going to say something like Sweden or the UK. I was hoping you were going to say something like that, which are still objectively capitalist countries.
Mm-hmm.
Not socialist by any means of the imagination. They have some more social programs, all funded by the success of capitalism, all funded by the marketplace and the wages created by capitalism.
More social programs. How many social programs do you have to do before it's socialist?
You're talking about social programs. Socialist is a completely different economic structure, though.
Right, where the worker has their relationship to the means of production.
State-run, but yes. State-run. That wouldn't really create much. You know what happened in the USSR?
It's just the same guy.
Most arable.
Yeah. He gets these people. He's talking to a person who works in finance who's a socialist. And
oh my God.
It is so stunning. I'm just going to do briefly for everybody to see just the early part because it is so funny.
Wow.
Where he catches her.
Raged and are out there to demoralize the people who are going into those.
I asked her what her job was, by the way.
I said finance, and you asked if I was a bad capitalist.
I'm a socialist. Concentration camps. You're a socialist?
Yes.
Okay, you know socialism has never worked. What socialism are you in favor for? Here we go. Get ready.
I believe that
take a system.
A system.
Take a system in the world that you're in favor of.
Well,
that you would rather be our system.
I just don't want it to be capitalism. Nor do I want it to be.
Take a system that has worked that you like and would like to replicate here.
Capitalism.
Take a system, please. That has been proven to work in any country, anywhere. That is better than our system, please.
Capitalism.
Yeah, please find.
Not.
Okay, that's great. I hear. Yes, you have your talking points. That's wonderful. Now pick a system that has worked anywhere, better than here, that you would rather have.
Well,
I'm waiting for it.
Your definition of better is not valuing the intrinsic value.
I don't give a fuck about my definition. Your definition. I'm asking you to choose. Don't cater to my definition.
And I'm choosing socialism.
No. Yeah, but pick it. Pick another country that has worked.
And unfortunately, we are an imperialist.
Never tried real socialism, I bet you.
Imperialism.
Anyway.
It always comes down to that. They didn't do it right. They didn't try real socialism. They didn't break enough eggs. They didn't execute enough Ukrainians. It's always the same thing. This is our version of it, Eric. we get our chance at the dance. I think they look at it like it's a graduation party. We get to try socialism. Our parents tried, and now we get to try.
Every generation after
Yeah, I
every
think that's it. I don't
generation.
even think
It's
it's political anymore. I think it's a rite of passage.
totally
Like going to an anti-war protest or a mass protest against anything. I think it's just like a social coming of age thing at this point.
I totally agree.
Because they don't define it. They don't know what it means. They like this, catching them in some gotcha moment doesn't deter them.
I know she just goes and repeats
Yeah.
it. And it's so funny to watch her because how somebody can be both clueless and smug at the same time.
It's clueless and shameless. It's a combination of clueless and shameless, or as I call it, arrogance and ignorance. That was my definition in 1979 of a type of ugly American, as I was explaining it back in the 80s, that is both arrogant and ignorant. That is a type of American elitism that is very rare around the world.
Well, is it just me, but I've always felt that IQ points and sperm cells run in inverse proportions.
Could very well. Yeah,
they seem to really propagate a lot.
Once you see that dye in their hair, though.
Oh well, yeah.
No. You could be working for the most conservative organization, like in her case, the banking industry or the financial services. But once you see that, it is like the gay liberation flag or something.
I agree, but we have other signals that they give, which is nice. So if they're outside or anywhere and you see a mask on, there's one, or pronouns in the profile.
Oh, those are dead giveaways for sure.
I know. Sure. It's like, thank you for signing the message for what you are.
For sure.
Sadly, I have a publisher and he has pronouns on profile. But anyway, what are you gonna? Some industries, I guarantee that Mark knows a lot of people with pronouns in the profile. And
when you see them on applications for stuff, I don't really encounter the pronoun world that much. Except I've noticed that when you're applying for something, whatever it is, medical assistance or anything, they ask you what your pronouns are.
I just renewed my driver's license, and I kind of swear
maybe
they did have pronouns there.
Yeah,
I can't be sure. Now I got to look it up, but I think I saw them, and I'm so used to seeing them that it just kind of was like, oh, here we go again. Which is, I think, the intent is like exposure therapy. You see it so much, you're just like, oh, well, that's a normal thing to do.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you know what is a normal thing to do here on Locals? That is torn from the headlines. And we start off with something that's very important to me, a cat story.
This is for you. I can't. This is a strange one because it's got nepotism in there, cats, mental illness, and I believe a cat place that the cat is being held, Sheila, to protect the cat from this woman who is the daughter of Chinatown writer Robert Towne and some actress from a Hitchcock movie. And she was having, it's kind of vague, but I thought maybe you could decipher it because she tried to buy back her cat from this cat protective services because I think it was taken away. This is my hunch from reading this whole thing, that they 5150'd her for mental illness. The cat went to this place and then she got out, tried to get her cat back, and they refused to give this mental case her cat back. So then her lawyer tried to donate $50,000 to the cat place, and the cat place still said no. So this is where we are now in this cat fight. In other words, I believe that they don't want to give up the cat because that she's a nut. I thought that should be brought to your attention.
I thoroughly appreciate it, and I have a feeling that this particular cat in question may feel like this.
Whoa. That's funny. He likes it up there.
Yeah, he does.
Wow. You know what? I've seen a lot of videos lately of boxer dogs like hitting cats in the face, trying to get them to play with them. And the cat's not even responding to being hit in the face with a paw. And then I've seen the reverse where the cats are hitting the dog in the face with a paw and the dog's not responding.
Yeah. It usually is the cat that's like,
yeah, but I've seen the reverse lately. I've seen the dog doing it to him.
That's a very indulgent cat, but good on it.
Yeah.
All right, supremely mad at Marty. A feud between Martin Scorsese and the Hollywood Guild.
Yeah, he's become an investor in this Black Forest Flux AI company. Like board of director, he is on the board now. Nearly 3,000 below the line illustrators was incensed and put out a statement accusing him of turning his back on human artists. I mean, this is happening so quickly in Hollywood, Eric, as we've talked about on the show, of people selling out to a group that said we're never going to sell out, that lasted 5 minutes.
Well, I think it's kind of a race to determine what is coming next. Like, it's like, okay, we can't change anything, but so we might as well get ahead of it. And there's another story that's similar to that, and that is Michael Caine is narrating the Odyssey, except he's not narrating the Odyssey. He's doing what we did 2 years ago with the Oswald audio drama,
right?
It's his voice in 11 Labs, which we use 11 Labs, by the way, to do the narration of the audiobook. So think about that for a second. That's kind of brilliant, right? You could just say, okay, you know what? You're going to pay me to use my voice to narrate, and I don't even have to go to work. This is like the lawn chair on the construction site, but even better, right?
Well, the ones who are dead are even more interesting. The ones who have passed on, who sold their rights for their heirs to reap financial rewards. It's more fascinating once they're demised.
And I could sort of see both sides of it. It's like, okay, you know what? They're just going to take this shit anyway.
Yeah,
we could get a check, and there's a case coming up potentially right now. Have you heard of People Incorporated? I know there's the magazine People, but they are now a publisher, and I think it was Meredith something, and they changed the name to People, and it's many magazines now. It's an entire media.
Well, People used to be Time Life,
right? But this is now.
Okay.
And,
all right.
People magazine heads like a whole publishing group of a bunch of magazines.
Okay.
Right when the AI thing was coming out, the CEO was smart, and he made a deal with Cloudflare. Cloudflare is who distributes content everywhere, and Cloudflare blocked all AI crawlers.
Wow!
So his stance was, "Hey, you can't have any of my content. You can't crawl it for your AI."
Yeah.
Well, then the AI companies all came to him with their checkbooks saying, what do we have to pay you to get access? Because they're constantly generating new material, premieres, who's here, what's going on here, all kinds of new content. AI desperately needs it. There's only one company, though, that hasn't played ball with them, and they can't do shit about it. And that's Google. Because Google has put Gemini into their search engine crawler. So they're leveraging their monopoly of indexing the web, for people to find search results, but they're putting it into AI. And the People guy has said, we've talked to them, we've done everything we can, and I think we're going to have to take further action. He said this on the stage at Cannes in front of all the other publishing groups. So don't be surprised, because they're kind of a herd and they all move together. You're going to see a massive, appropriate, in my opinion, lawsuit against Google for what they're doing, because can you think of a better definition of a monopoly than a company taking their monopoly position of, all of search pretty much, and saying, yeah, if you want to be listed on the web, we're just going to steal the content.
Oh my God. So evil.
I wish luck, and everybody pay attention. I will be paying attention to that. I know that Nate and the other lawyers are collecting names to settle that lawsuit with Google and Meta, who both lost about people's lives being ruined.
Right.
A lot is coming down. Also, they're starting to. I think England has just legislated they're banning minors from all social media, and that's becoming a trend all over. So a lot of movement in that front.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
But back to the headline. Pilot sues over bites at Batty Denver Hotel. Are you saying bat bites? Are you kidding me?
Dude, the guy was in his room. This is an airlines pilot, a California Airlines pilot. He was in his room. He woke up and bats were flying around the room, biting him in Denver at the Marriott, at the Denver Marriott, just kept flying and biting him. 46-year-old married father of one, woke up around 2:30 in the morning to a commotion. And it reminded me of what my mother went through in the Catskills when she was a kid. I don't know if I covered this in another story, but my mother, when she was a 9-year-old or something, my two uncles were told to babysit her while my grandmother and grandfather went to the racetrack. And this happened repeatedly all summer. And the two brothers, her brothers, would just bail out. And in her room, she said that something was flapping around her room, and she just stayed under the covers and was traumatized all summer. And they put in at the end of the summer, they put in a camphor candle to kill whatever was in the room. And they turned over the box springs, and there was about 20 bats hanging there dead from the springs, Eric. And they didn't believe her all summer that these things were flying around the room at night.
God.
And here's a guy in his room, this week, in a hotel room at the Marriott. Same thing happened.
Holy shit. And it cost him over $100,000 for rabies shots, which, by the way, are not pleasant. They jam them in people's stomach, and wow, that's scary. I just looking at the headline, I would have thought that was like South America or somewhere.
No, it was right here.
No, Denver. Jesus.
And a Marriott.
Wow.
Not a
I was
Motel
just at
6.
a Marriott. That's not cool. We were all at the Marriott.
They could have had bats in there.
We were safe, though. The food was good. All right. California Post. Kamala. Yeah, with her phone call with Mandalmi. Is that what this is about?
Yeah. And other secret meetings with other DSA officials to get her in line with them, people presume, for her to run again. She will not go unless they support her and pledge not to attack her, because that would be a mess. So I think this is part of her process to say, will you, interrupt my campaign, or will you endorse me or not endorse me, or give me, some sort of pass, or whatever the rules are. I think she's talking to them to find out what they're willing to do if she runs.
You know what I just thought of, and it's almost a nightmare scenario, but the same way W pulled Cheney out to be VP, what if she pulled in Bernie as a VP candidate? I'm praying he would never
people
accept
have discussed that. People have discussed
that would be kind of like a quiet way to try to pull them under the tent. But
the leading candidate for your idea right now, everybody's talking about, is AOC. So that's what's on the top of everybody's minds now.
Ugh. Horrible. You know what, though? No, the problem with AOC, with Kamala, is that AOC is far more dynamic and interesting. Sadly,
that's what they're talking about.
She's an idiot, but at least sort of interesting idiot.
It's their problem. I mean, it's not our problem.
Well, it is our problem if it's a successful move. I
mean that they'd win.
Yeah, I don't want them to win. I don't want anything that helps them move it along.
Okay.
Well, and to potentially have these psychos in place. Absolutely.
Well, the similar model is what you described, a brain dead George Bush
Exactly.
but they won. So, I mean, the proof's in the pudding.
I know. That's why I'm scared. And I said, I hope they don't.
Well, that's what the ticket's going to be. It's going to be AOC and Harris going again.
Ugh. Yeah.
One brings in New York, the other California. I mean, there's a lot of upside. It appeases the DSA. It's the only way to go.
Well, at least Kamala's on the top of the ticket, but oh my God. All right. Let's see. This is we talked about this earlier. The demonstrator.
Yeah, that's the woman there who wore the wire. So tip of the hat to this unindicted co-conspirator.
Who got the first one to say yes when the deal is offered. It's like a lottery.
Yeah.
Who's the winner? Prisoner's dilemma. All right. 1 year in jail.
It's not even jail. This was out here. This guy, this Palestinian professor with a megaphone beat this Jew to death, this old man, at a rally, killed him with his megaphone, smashing it over his head. The prosecutors are completely outraged. He is going to spend 1 year in a county jail in Ventura near his house, not even state prison. They demanded, I think, 5 to 7 years in state prison. The judge overruled that and gave him 1 year in the county jail here in LA.
That's disgusting. Unbelievable. Oh my God. But where's Nate Hochman?
I think this may be outside of his jurisdiction. I'm not sure.
All right. Plea in Guthrie ransom.
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed this. This guy pled guilty to being the guy with the phony ransom texts and everything and emails.
Is he the one that sent to the TMZ?
He's the guy who this past week, when we talked about the case where they received ransom notices last week, this guy was arrested for doing that.
Man. People they have no shame. They really don't.
Kamala admitted that he called and sent text messages to the family members February 20th, 2026.
Okay, so it was a bit ago.
Yeah.
Wow. Sick. All right. Dennis Quaid is leaving LA following his brother, I guess.
Well, he's taking a loss on his house. That's how fast he wants to get out. I think he is listing his house for 1.3 million more than he bought it almost 10 years ago. So he's losing millions on the sale of the house. But he wants out to, I guess, Nashville.
Well, don't rush too far to Nashville. I mean, they're trying to catch up. I don't know.
I think he had a house there before this.
Okay.
Right, but he just wanted to get rid of his property here.
Well, with the tax hit and everything else, he's probably smart to just call it a loss.
I think so.
Lord. Oh yes, I had this.
I don't know what this is. I really don't know what the hell's going on here.
This activist, and I think she was finally arrested. Anyway, was going on a jihad online saying, hey, let's kill MAGA or Republicans. And hang on, I think I even have a clip on that. But that is essentially what the story is about.
I think they're constantly taking pictures of themselves.
Oh yeah. Well,
I said to you a couple of weeks ago that it's really about exhibitionism. That's really the disease that's underneath this all. And when nobody looks anymore, that's when they begin to look at themselves, get depressed, and either act out or act in, acting out with weaponry or acting in through suicide. But the exhibitionism works for a couple of minutes, and then nobody gives a shit anymore.
Well, because eventually it's like, okay, I've seen 20 of you already. You're not really anything new to me.
But I think that's the mental condition that's underreported. Is their exhibitionism is a big part of this.
Yes, that makes
And I
a lot
never
of sense.
ever hear that, but I think that once they transfer over, the exhibitionism wears off to the general public and then to themselves, and now they're just a half man, half woman coexisting in a normal world.
Yeah, I want to say Dr. Drew has mentioned that.
He has?
Yeah, for some
Oh, I
reason
got to ask him then. Okay.
I feel like he has. I don't know for sure. Okay, I can't find the X post that I had on that. I did have this story, and this is a member of the community, Dustin Russell shared this with me, and it's kind of amusing if we can, set it out here. This woman, she's a school teacher who essentially got caught stalking her ex boyfriend or husband or whatever. But tell me if this person has gotten away with a lot of shit before. Watch her attitude when she's pleading out, and then watch what happens. Now, she looks really sorry here, right? I mean, this.
Is she reading that from a paper?
She's reading her. I'm sorry, blah 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 blah. Look at the. She's a
Okay,
cutie.
thank you. I'm going to place you on 18 months of community control. You'll be ordered to have no contact with Mr. McKenzie, the victim. In this case, as a condition of community control, you are to wear a GPS device for the first 90 days. You'll be on house arrest with work release.
Big deal.
Hold on. So this is all played out, but watch.
You'll be ordered to undergo mental health counseling, particularly for to establish healthy boundaries, and you will serve the first 7 days of this term of probation in our county jail. You are ordered remanded.
We hadn't agreed sentence.
You didn't agree with me, Mr. Kinlan, and I am charged with sentencing.
At this point, you are going to make a motion to withdraw the plea.
I want to make a motion to withdraw the plea.
Oh,
You
interesting.
don't like the
Interesting.
sentence?
For the 7 days?
Yes. But watch her, because she's like, because look, everything he read off, you were like, oh yeah, this is bullshit or whatever.
Right.
Even the 7 days is bullshit, but it is.
Right, of course.
The way the court has interpreted the facts.
Mr. Kinlan,
Facts are not correct.
did you talk to me about sentence before you
No.
pled your client?
You were not available, Your Honor.
I'm available all the time, Mr. Kinlan. You chose to plead your sentence, your client.
We only met with you one time, Your Honor. At this point, we've asked to withdraw.
I'm offended that you would make the insinuation here that I don't work enough.
Please.
Can't ask me, sorry.
Please not knowingly voluntarily.
You're bad.
By the way, this lawyer is a piece of shit too.
What's wrong with this guy? Is he banging her?
That's exactly what my thought is.
Yeah.
He either is or he's trying to, because
Yeah.
what do you give a shit? You're not going in.
Practice is not my problem.
I don't think it's my
Order
fault.
remanded. We're done.
I have to say there's a little satisfaction, because she's actually starting to feel like, oh, maybe this isn't going according to plan.
Okay, right this way. We're going right to the jail.
Do
Walk
not
this
pass
way.
go. Do not collect $200.
No.
Listen, you can hear in the background in a minute.
Hannah Freeman.
Oh, this is okay. This is when she got pulled over. Look at her face. Okay, just watch it. This person.
Are you supposed to be up here? You are? Were you in his vehicle earlier?
No.
No.
Oh, weird.
Well, we went to get dinner together, but
You guys, where'd you guys go get dinner at?
Kings,
Kings?
yeah,
Raising Cane's? Which one?
North Olmsted.
North Olmsted? Okay. Well, we got a complaint from him that you were in his vehicle tonight and you're harassing him and stalking him.
I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
Okay. Did you take some items from him last night? your phone in the car?
I am. I'm putting it down. I'm putting it down.
Step over
I'm putting it down.
Oh, it's all fun to
Your
her.
hands behind your back.
Yeah, everybody is just.
You don't got anything on you that's gonna stick, poke, anything like that?
No.
Your hands together like you're praying.
Now, person like that, no, she wouldn't be a stalker at all. She doesn't have a weird little personality at all.
We're accused.
Anyway, so that is
Wow.
apparently Dustin's neighbor or somebody.
No,
who
get
lives
out of
near
here.
him. Yes.
Where is it? Columbus, Ohio, it looks like?
Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay,
I
I'll
believe.
take Cleveland for $20, Bob.
Absolutely. Now she's not a trans, and it doesn't have anything to do with the story, but I thought it was one we cover that we didn't get in the
Right.
show. All right, and then we talked about this
Yeah.
tonight as
This
well.
is just bizarre.
Oh, it's
Like, what's it to
I
them?
don't even.
I don't-
I don't
like,
even know.
what is the problem? I mean, even
How
they
much
could
money
get
does that guy have? Is he contributing to his retirement or something? Because I can't see any other reason.
like, why would this governor wake up and say, "This is my main goal today is to pardon this guy"?
Dude, that's a damn fine.
Yeah, dude, I just don't get it.
Yeah, it's horrible. Let's see, and here's the Shelter
here-
Island you talked about.
Right,
I'll
right.
be damned.
Yeah, wow, it's sad, bro.
With George buying the island with his wayward son, Alex.
Who's married to the Clinton assistant?
Yep. And
Uma Abedin, is that her name?
Yeah, Uma Abedin.
Yeah, Abedin, yeah.
Who
used to be married to Anthony Weiner.
Andrew Weiner.
Yeah,
Not
Anthony
Weiner either. It's Weiner.
Yeah,
He
Weiner.
says it as Weiner. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay.
Well,
what
there's
is-
a Tim Weiner who used to work for Rolling Stone who pronounces it Weiner.
for
And-
obvious reasons.
But I think the one in San Francisco pronounces it Weiner
Well, it fits.
for obvious reasons.
Exactly. It's kind of like, okay. I mean, I think Corolla is the one who was saying, and he's right. He's like, if I had that name, I'd be like, it's Weiner. It's a strong old German name.
What if
Weiner.
his first name was Richard and they just called him Dick Weiner? You know, that would be taunt level
It kind of
10
be
in
redundant.
school.
Yeah.
Dick Weiner, Dick Weiner, Dick Weiner.